given some information about this in yesterday's class. React.js is nothing but here open source library of JavaScript to implement client-side logics. Why we are using this React.js? To implement the client-side logics. This clear? Yes. So it is nothing but the library of JavaScript. Okay, Jordan Walkie implemented in year 2013. In which year he implemented this React.js? In the year 2013. Who implemented? Jordan? Yes, yeah. So what is the reason behind the implementation? He wanted to work with the chat application. He wanted to work with the chatting application in that Facebook. So he is one of the employees of Facebook organization and he wanted to work with chatting application. So for that reason, he implemented this React.js in the year 2013. Later, they added more functionalities and released this React.js as open source library of JavaScript. Then many companies like Instagram, Apple, etc., Flipkart, okay, Alibaba also contains React.js. All these companies started working with this React.js. Okay, that's the basic thing. Client-side functionalities. What are the client-side functionalities we are using here? Yes. So just we are using client-side script to validate input controls. In that point of we are in this client-side functionalities. First one is to validate the input controls. Next one here to apply dynamic functionalities on HTML controls. We are applying the dynamic functionalities on HTML controls. Then also we are taking the support of this client-side scripts. Okay. So by default, HTML control is static control. Static means what is that? We cannot change the properties of controls at runtime. Once the control is loaded into browser, later you want to change width of the control, not possible. You want to change height of the control, not possible. Like that, any property of control you want to change after it is loaded, it is not possible. Okay, but by using this client-side scripts, we can change the properties of controls at runtime. Okay, next one, to work with Ajax. Yeah, in order to work with the Ajax concept, then also we are taking the support of this client-side scripts. Okay, in order to work with Ajax, we are taking the support of this client-side scripts. Next one here, to execute logics in browser. To execute some logics in browser, at that time also we are using client-side script. Already I told you. Okay, so client-side code performance is faster than server-side code. User can see the results of client-side code very faster than server-side code. So that is the main advantage of this. So that's most of the logics in web applications. Most of the logics in web applications were implementing through client-side scripts. So is it clear? Yes, that is the concept. Yeah. I think you're clear with these concepts. Okay. So just where we are in the client-side script. Now, React.js is very popular client-side script these days. In websites and mobile application development, we are using this React.js. Okay. So most of the mobile apps and the web applications introduced with this React.js. Now, here one use case if we take, for example, login form. If we take example login, yeah, in this login form, where we are using, so client-side script uses we are discussing. Okay, we are taking one example login form. In this login form, so where we are using this client-side script, that point, that clarity I'm giving to you. If you take login or registration or any other concept, so every concept contains design the user interface. After that, coding like that we have in login form. First, we need to create or design login page. That's the first step. What is that? Design the login page. Second step, validate controls. Yes. What the second step? We have validation of controls. And next step, send data to server. Login form. I am talking about login. Okay. Send data to server. Next step, take username, password valid or invalid. We're checking that username password is valid or invalid. Third step, redirect to either welcome page or invalid user. These are the steps what are involved in this login concept. Yes. First one is design login page. Next one, validations. Okay. Send data to server. Check username password valid or invalid, and redirect to either welcome page or invalid user page. See, in designing point of view, to design the login page, what are the technologies we are using? So anybody have idea on this? To design the login page, what are the technologies we are using? Do you have idea on this?
HTML.
Yes, that is HTML and
CSS.
CSS. And for responsiveness, Bootstrap. Yeah. UI designer will work with this concept, okay, to design the skins. Validations, that client-side scripts we are using. What is that here? React we are using. So I want to check username text box is empty. Box is empty like that. Okay. Next one, sending data to server. Yes. We are sending the data to server by using Ajax. That is also nothing but client-side script. By using React, we are using this. After that, check username password valid or invalid. Yes. Check the username password is valid or invalid. So in this point of view, with server database, we are checking. So server-side programmer involves here. He will create one API service. So into that API service, we are passing the username password in this third step. So in that API service, server-side program is connecting with the database and they entered username password correct or not. So here we are working with server-side scripts like JSP, PHP, etc. Next one, redirect to the welcome page or invalid user page. We are redirecting to either welcome page or invalid user page. So in this point of view, redirection, routing concept in React, routing is there. I told you. So in yesterday's class, if you miss, no problem. I will repeat when I am starting this routing concept. That time again, I will explain that one. So routing we are using to redirect from one page to another page. It may be from login page to either welcome page or invalid user page based on the condition. So there also we are taking that client side, nothing but React. Now, if you observe a simple concept, login, in how many steps we are using this React.js, second step, third step, and last step. Is clear? Yes. Not only in this login concept. So if you take any other concepts like registration or any other concept, so around 70% code we are using client side. Okay. Either in web applications or mobile applications, 70% code is client side code. So that's why we have huge requirement in this IT industry for this client side programmers. Okay. So in these client side technologies, these days, only two technologies playing very, very important role. Those are nothing but React and Angular. Yes, React.js has very huge openings to work with this client-side scripts. It is very, very easy. Is it clear? So now I think you got some clarity where we are using these client-side scripts. Now in this concept, you have any doubts? Pavani, Kasi, and others. Do you have any doubts?
You're good.
Yeah, you can ask me any questions if we have any queries. I
So,
got one.
which version of React.js you are
We are
going
handling
to explore?
React 17.
Okay.
Yes.
So, which version is presently in market?
Which?
So, which version is stable version in the
Yes,
market?
there is no stable concept in versions point of view because every version adding more features, right? Yes.
Okay.
So if you go with that 15 and 16, so more features are added in version 16. 16 to 17, few more features added. So there is no point. So this version remains constantly like that. So versions, why they are releasing the versions? They're introducing new concepts.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why we should adopt the new concepts. That is the main point of this. Okay. Yeah. Fine. Now, have idea on JavaScript to work with this React.js. So yesterday I given some points. React.js supports single page application, means routing concept, and data binding concept is there. Okay. Next one, it supports different types of validators and different types of services like that. Many advantages are there. MVC pattern we have. What is MVC? I will explain with you. Like the different advantages we have compared with the JavaScript. Okay. So already JavaScript is there. Then why should I go with React.js? As JavaScript is not supporting single page application. React supports single page application. What is the benefit of single page application? So without connecting with the server, we can get the next pages. We can navigate to the next pages. For example, home page is there. From home page to about us, I want to navigate, redirect. So generally, we are sending a request to the server to get the about us page. But in single page application, at very beginning, when the first request we are sending to the server, that time only it is getting the all templates into client system and storing those templates in client's memory location. When client click on the next page like about us or contact us, then from the client system, the template is already available. It will show the result from client system. That's why immediately user can see the result. So that concept is not there in JavaScript. And data binding concept is here. Okay. So data binding means we can create a link between a variable and control. What is the purpose of this link? So what are the modifications we are performing on the control immediately, sorry, on the variable? What are the modifications we are performing on the variable? Those are applying on the control directly. Means as a programmer, we need not worry to get the updates of variable to display on the controls like table or text box, etc. Like the data binding is there. Next one, MVC pattern support is there. Okay, but JavaScript is not supporting model view controller architecture. And the next one, number of predefined validations we have in React.js, but JavaScript doesn't have those type of predefined validations. We need to customize each and everything. Okay, and next one, JSX format we have. We can combine both JavaScript and HTML by using this React.js. But in JavaScript, normal JavaScript program, if you write any HTML code, it is not working there. It will not work because it raises the error message. But in React.js, we can combine JavaScript with HTML. Like that, many advantages are there. Okay, many advantages are there. So those practically we'll discuss now. Those examples we are discussing practical now one by one. Is it clear? Yes. So that is the main point of this. Okay, fine. Now here, so this is the use case which we discussed. So now, for example, you are working with UI. If you are working with the UN companies, then your role is designer. Okay. And if you working with means UI design. Okay. So your role is designer and UI coding. Then your role is yes, UI developer. So who is working with this React JS or any other client side frameworks? So then that person comes under UI developer. Okay. Next one, who is server-side programmer who is working with the backend code, backend technologies like here just PHP, ASP, Node.js, etc. So we can call them as server-side programmers. Okay. So here we are front-end programmers. Okay. Or we can also call them as client-side programmers. Yes. So who is working with React JS? Okay, that person we are calling as UI developer, nothing but client-side programmer. And who is working with the server-side coding? We are calling as server-side programmer. Who is working both? Okay, front-end and back-end. I means client-side and server-side. Okay, front-end plus back-end. Then we are calling as full-stack programmer. Okay, what is that? Full-stack programmer. Like that. We have different designations. So we are React developer. That's why current designation is okay, UI developer. So once you get the clarity, then you can become as stack program. Stack means backend. If you learn Node.js, okay, and framework of Node.js, that is Express, and in front end React, and database if you learn MongoDB, then you will become as stack programmer. So for this stack, huge demand is there, but not right now. After experience, okay, minimum 1 or 2 years experience on this React.js, you can look for this stack programmer. Is it clear? Right now, you will become as UI developer here. So what are the roles and responsibilities and which type of logics we're implementing as UI developer? So those concepts we need to start in programmatically. So to discuss these concepts, okay, so we should have some idea on JavaScript. We should have not some idea. One point you should remember, complete JavaScript is very, very important. Okay, some people they're teaching very partial JavaScript, but in entry point of view, they're asking questions fully on JavaScript. So that's why my sessions are taking a 2 months time duration, not 45 days. Is it clear? So because we are covering each and every concept in both JavaScript as well as React.js with the project oriented, we are covering with project oriented. At middle only, we are starting on project, and what are the concepts every day we are discussing, those concepts directly we are applying on the project. So that's why time duration is a little bit more compared with the other faculty sessions here. Okay, and the JavaScript, already I told you, JavaScript, we are covering these topics. Okay, so now, yeah, these are all the things I'm covering in JavaScript, like, yeah, declarations, variables, variable types, we have variable scopes, we have functions. Okay, and in these functions, what the types of functions we have, anonymous arrow functions, like that. So definitely in interview, they will ask you 2 to 3 questions in these types of functions, no doubt at that point of. Okay, and definitely they will ask you 1 or 2 questions on positioning concept. And array related, what is map, what is filter, what is reduce? These are common questions. These are common questions. And what is destructuring of object and how to create the nested objects? These are very common questions. Like that here. So what are the objects we have? What is Ajax? Ajax is very important for us. Okay. So you want to connect with the external API services through React.js. Okay. Then we are using Ajax, not only through React.js, any client-side script. Okay. So I want to connect with the server-side API. Compulsory, we are using Ajax. Through Ajax call only, we are calling the APIs of server. Yes. And promises for asynchronous programming, promises and callbacks, everything we are discussing here. So that's the first we are starting with JavaScript. After that, once JavaScript concepts are completed here, JavaScript, what are the protocols we are using? Okay, I mean in web applications, what are the protocols? What is local storage, session storage? Okay, what is the REST operator, spread operator? So what is closure? All these topics we are covering in JavaScript. And these are the topics we are covering in the React.js. Okay. Yes, this topic list is available in front office. We can collect this topic list. So in React.js, we have 2 types of components, functional component, class components. We are covering all concepts in these 2 components, based on these 2 components, based on both function components as well as class components we are covering. Okay. So that's why my time duration is a bit more than that other faculty session. So I think hope you understand. Okay. Now first we are covering. We are starting with JavaScript. Okay, with JavaScript concepts we are starting here. Before that, basic knowledge on HTML is required. Okay, that's why I'm discussing some part of HTML. Because if you open a React project, okay, now I'm going to show you on project here. Okay, so for example, this is evening 8:30 batch which is running. So very first program, if you observe, okay, this is first tab in React. I'm discussed. Okay, now here in this first program only you can see any basic file if you open. Yes. So in this, just we have concept like, okay, let me open once again. Yeah. So it is open in Visual Studio Code. Now you can see here. Yeah. This is span tag we are using. And here div tag we are using. You understand? And paragraph we are using. All these are HTML elements. Yes. So that's why you should know about the HTML concept. So I think you people have idea on HTML, but the main concepts you don't know, I know that. Okay, those main concepts I'm starting now. So this HTML, we are spending only 1.5 session. Okay, 1.5 days we are spending with this HTML, not more than that. Okay, yes, in that we need to cover what is container, what is not container, what is inline element, what is block level element. If you know these elements, then only you can work with these React components. Without knowledge on this inline and block level and containers, so if you learn these React components, no use, not at all. Is it clear? So that's why we are discussing this topic. Yeah. So I think you people have some idea on HTML. That's why I want to ask you one or two simple questions. Okay, I want to ask you one or two simple questions. So what is HTML? Tell me. Just normally I'm asking. If you know, you can answer. What is HTML? Kasi.
Hypertext
Not
protocol.
full form. I am not asking you full form.
Okay.
I'm asking you what is HTML.
It's a front-end designing technology. We can by using the divisions,
Yeah,
paragraphs, and
HTML is
we
a
can
web
create.
technology. Yes,
Yes.
HTML is okay. I will tell you. HTML is a web technology. This HTML we are using to display the controls on browser. Remember this point. That is enough. Okay. Yes, HTML we are using to display a web controls on browser. So we have different types of browsers like Internet Explorer, Mozilla Firefox, Google Chrome, like that we have different types of browsers. So every browser contains the controls. These controls we can display with the help of HTML. Is it clear? Yes. So now here just HTML if you take, yes, it is web technology to display controls on browser. So some people they're thinking HTML is providing controls like text box, button, reader button, etc. HTML is not providing any controls. These controls are available in browser. So we can display these controls with the help of HTML. Just like we are giving instructions to the browser to display text box, button, reader button, etc. Is it clear? Yes. HTML provides many elements. Okay, HTML provides many elements like image, input, etc. to design web pages. Yes, these we are calling as elements. HTML is providing different types of elements to design the web pages. Okay, yes. Now here, every element enclosed with angle brackets. Okay, these brackets we are calling as angle brackets. Okay. So if you place any element inside the angle bracket, then we are calling it as tag. Browser can understand tags only. For example, here, if I keep img is one element, right? img is one element. So if I keep inside this angle bracket, then browser can understand this is one tag. You got it? Like that input, if I keep an angle bracket, then browser can understand this is a tag. Because these are client-side scripts are executed with the help of browsers. So that's why here, to give idea to the browser, to understandable browser, we should place elements inside these angle brackets. For example, if I directly place img, then browser can understand this is simple text message, not as a tag. You understand? Yes. So every element we should enclose it with angle brackets, less than and greater than symbol. Okay. Now, every element provides many properties. We can also call them as attributes. Yes, every element provides many properties. Okay. So for example, img if you take SRC is one property. Okay. Next one, width is one property. Height is one property. Like that, input if you take, type is one property. Like that, we are calling them as attributes. That's all. So this is the primary points which we should know. Okay. So once again, I'm explaining to you, HTML is a web technology to display the contours on browser. You want to design web pages, we are using HTML. So it is providing different types of elements like img input, etc. Every element is enclosed with angle brackets. Okay, then we are calling as tag, and every element is providing many properties. Okay, now a simple HTML document I want to create. So now you answer my questions. Okay, here I open Edit Plus and save this file with the name demo.html I have given. Yes. So in this HTML, we are using HTML head and body. We are discussing them later. Just my requirement is I want to display one image control. Yes. Can I place img like this? If I use img like this, browser will understand it as text message. Let me open that file demo. That file is there. Yes, here it is created. Double click on this. Now you can see we are getting this img as a text message. In case if I place inside this angle brackets, okay, then browser can understand this as HTML tag. Then the related control is trying to display, but which control you want to display, which image you want to display, not provided. For that we are using, yes, what we are using here, nothing but attributes, nothing but property. What the property on the image control to display image src. Now here I am using src is equal to src, very good. Src is equal to, in my desktop Mango is there, Apple is there, like the different types of images. Just I'm printing mango.jpg. Now if you observe this one, so we are getting Mango. And width I'm using here, width is equal 100 pixels. So this is one more property. We can also call it as attribute. 100 pixel size I have given. Now we can say 100 pixels. Now this is the way how to display HTML element on the browser. Okay, every element is providing many properties. Okay, fine. Now I have one question. How many types of elements we have in HTML? Yeah, tell me anyone. How many types of elements we have in HTML? That is first question. Second question. So this is static control or dynamic control? First question compulsory they will ask in interviews. Second question you should know for your next level implementation. You understand? First question is how many types of controls we have, and second question, this is static control or dynamic control. Don't search in Google, think and tell me. Yes, yeah, give me answer. Michael, Pavani, Venkat. So, okay, tell me, is this static or dynamic? HTML controls are static or dynamic? What is static? Static means we can't change the properties of control at runtime. So right now this control is loaded, image is loaded. So how many properties I have given in design time? SRC is one property, width is one property. SRC is nothing but mango.jpg, width is 100 pixels width I have given, accordingly displayed in browser. Now this is runtime. So if it is static control, we can't change the properties at runtime. If it is dynamic, we can change the properties at runtime. That is the meaning. So right now, can I change the properties of this image control? Yes or no? Yeah, you cannot change. That's why it is static control, not dynamic. So right now in runtime, I want to change the width of this control, or I want to change the image mango.jpg of this control. So right now it is not possible. With HTML, it is not possible now. So then we are using client-side scripts to change the properties of the controls at runtime. Already I shared you one point here yesterday. So we can use yesterday and today also I discussed that one. Yes, yeah. So this point, if you observe to apply dynamic functionalities on the HTML controls, in that point of you are using this React.js or any other client-side script. By default, HTML is static. So right now you want to change. For example, my requirement is when I click on this image control, I want to display Apple image there. Right now, Mango is there. I want to change it to Apple. So by default, with HTML, pure HTML, not possible. We are taking the support of client-side scripts. So those client-side scripts are nothing but in old days we used to work with JavaScript, but now we are working with React.js. Is it clear? Like that, any control, any property, not only image, any control. Okay, not only SRC property, any other property like width or type or height, okay, or colors, background colors, everything we can change with the help of client-side scripts. Okay, so that is the answer for the second question. So by default, HTML is static. You want to make it as dynamic. We are taking the support of any client-side script. And first question, how many types of HTML controls we have? Yeah, 2 types are there. That is very, very important. So if you observe the very beginning React program, which I discussed in the another batch, okay, I will start the React here also, then you will get the clarity. So here div tag is there and paragraph is there. Like that, just now in our web page, we displayed image control, right? Image control we displayed. And next one, we can display the text box. For example, here, one more control I'm taking. That is nothing but mark you. Yes, I want that control. Sorry, mark you. Do you know mark you, anyone? Okay, I will tell you. So mark you, we are using to display the scrolling content on web page. Welcome to React something. Save. Now refresh. You can see the text is moving. So in different websites, you can see this scrolling text with some other extra styles. We will discuss later how to apply the styles. So for example, irctc.com and these type of websites contain this. Yes. So now this is MarkQ. So if you observe this, yes, with the message I got, 1 second. Yeah, you will get the recordings, no worries. Okay, you will get the recording. These recordings are available in YouTube channel of DurgaSoft up to demo classes. After that, I will give you the Google Drive access. Okay, fine. Now come to the point. So here, see, if you observe, MarkQ contains both open and closing tag, but image, if you observe here, it doesn't have separate closing tag like this. You got it? Yes. So directly we can close like this image tag. So what the difference between this one and this one? So for that only we are discussing the types of controls. Actually, 2 types of HTML controls we have. 2 types of HTML controls. What are these 2 types? First one, yes, anyone? What the first type? Can I expect from you? Yeah.
Static and dynamic.
No. All HTML controls static. Then why again dynamic is coming in the picture? Can you tell me any dynamic control example in HTML? Image, is it static control or dynamic? Static. Text box, static. Okay, every control is static. Dynamic, you want to convert into dynamic, then we are using any client-side script. Then it becomes as dynamic. For example, this image is static, right? Now my requirement I have, if I click on this image, I want to display apple. Is it possible by default with pure HTML? Not possible. Then we are taking the support of client-side script. For example, I'm using one statement now. Yes, yeah. Now here I have given like this. Now I converted this image as dynamic control now with the support of client-side script. It may be JavaScript or a React. Okay. So right now I've given JavaScript, but in our programs we'll discuss all these points with React.js. Now see this, if I click on this, now it is converted into Apple. Means we are able to change SRC property at runtime. Yes. To apply this concept, we have taken the support of client-side script. Okay, it is not possible with pure HTML. So that's why HTML is always static. Okay, you want to convert into dynamic, we are taking the support of any client-side script. For example, marquee is there. Yes, in this marquee, I'm writing some statements. Okay, now here. So what is on mouse over and what is on mouse out? Everything I will discuss with you. Okay, now here, just I have given like this. Now when I move mouse forward, it is stopped. Okay, so actually we should place here. It is stopped. And mouse out. So here refresh this. Mouse over, mouse out, mouse over, mouse out, mouse out. Like that, dynamically I'm stopping this and I'm running. So that time I have taken this start and stop functions. Those are nothing but belongs to JavaScript only. So with the JavaScript or with React.js or with the Angular or with Vue.js, we can convert HTML control into dynamic, but by default, every HTML is static control. You got my point? Is it clear or shall I explain again? You can ask me, no problem.
Yes.
Because it clear, na? Yes.
Yes.
By default, all HTML controls are static controls. You want to make them as dynamic. Dynamic means what is that? Yes. After loaded into browser, you want to change any property. Like if I click here, then I want to display other image. Or if I move mouse over this, I want to stop. Like that. Any properties you want to change, then we are taking the support of client-side scripts. Then only it becomes as dynamic. Okay. But my question is, types of controls. How many types of controls we have? Two types are there. One is container, another one is non-container. Is it clear? Yes. So just that is very, very important concept. Definitely in React.js interview questions, they will ask you what the difference between div tag and span tag. That common question is there. To get the idea on this div tag and span tag, first you should know what is div and what is span, what is container, what is non-container. So these concepts you should know, and what is inline element, what is block level element. So these are the things I am discussing in HTML. Is it clear? Yes. Now here, types of controls. So first one is container. So what is container we are discussing? What is the general meaning of container? Tell me. What is general meaning of container? Normal meaning. We are calling this is
It will
container.
take whole space. Container means it will
Which can hold goods. Yes.
yes.
Yes. Yeah. Which can contain, which can maintain, which can hold other elements. Yes, that is container. Here also, see, containers can hold other controls. You got it? Containers can hold other controls. Why we are using containers? Okay, to create a group with multiple controls, we can use container. This is the main answer for the container. Why we are using containers? To create a group with multiple controls, we are using containers. I will show the example for your more clarity. So examples for the containers. Okay, div tag is one container, table is one container, mark queue is one container. Okay, span is one container, paragraph is container, anchor tag is also one container. These are all comes under containers. In table TD, TR, I will explain those things also. All this comes from containers. So before starting the React.js, these are very, very important concepts. Is it clear? Because here already I showed you on React. Okay, example. For example, I showed you this project. In this project, we are using all these elements. And in this project, you can see one file is available, index.html file. Okay, so now here, this is index.html file, somewhere it is available here. Okay, so first go to this first tab. Okay, their public folder, this. Open with Plus or Visual Studio Code. There here, if you observe, just we are using div tag here. So you should know what is div, then only you can understand this project, right? So that's why I'm starting with that concept. Okay, once these are all completed, then we will discuss the project files, everything. So first concentrate here. So containers can hold other elements. Okay, means inside the container, I can place other controls. That is the main point. Okay, so div tag is one container, table is one container, span is one container. Like that, we have different types of containers. The main purpose of container is grouping the elements. What is group? What is advantage of group? That example I will show you, then you will get clarity in this. Okay, now I am creating one program, simple login form I want to create. So where is our demo.html file? Just 1 second. Yeah, let me open this file, demo.html, which we created. So at any point you can ask me doubts. Okay, no worries and no hesitate to ask the doubts. See, for example, let me delete everything. Simple. Yeah, I want to place text box, username text box, password text box, login button. Simple login form I'm creating. Okay, then we are using input type is equal to text. It display the text box. If you observe the output, it display the text box. Okay, this is one text box. In this text box, you want to display any content. Okay, place folder is equal to something like username. Yeah. Now refresh. By default, it display the text username. If I type something, that old text is deleted. That username place folder is deleted. Displays like this. Okay, fine. In new line, a login form contains okay, input type is equal to so password or text box I'm taking here. Placeholder is equal to this password I have given. One more control I have taken. A refresh, fine. So next one, I want to take login button here. Yes, input type is equal to button we are using. And just if you observe here, empty button we are getting that I want to display as login. Value is equal to something like login. Refresh we have. Okay, simple login form you created in your React application. Now your requirement is so that login form initially want to hide when user click on the show button. So one more button I have taken. Type is equal to button. Value is equal to show login. Yes, now my requirement is initially I want to hide this username, password, and login button. When user click on show login by using React.js, I want to display this login button. That is the requirement of your user story. Okay, yes. We have to hide these controls. Okay, to hide these controls, we can use okay, conditional based hiding is there or CSS based hiding is there. So right now I'm using CSS based hiding. In React.js, I will discuss how to work with the conditional based hiding. So CSS based means simply we are using username style is equal to display none if I give, it will not display. Now refresh, it is not displaying. But I applied on button. We should apply on the text box here, username text box. Yes, now if you observe here, yes, it is not displaying. But what about these two controls? In these two controls also we should apply style display none, and in this button also. Then only it will hide this all controls, right? Yeah, it is hide. Means I have three controls. The style property applied on these three controls. Yes, when user click on the login button by using either JavaScript or React.js, dynamic functionality. Dynamically, we can change that hide into display property, display a block or something we have. I will discuss that. So we should apply that property. But here, what is the problem? I need to change the properties to all controls every time. Okay, so three controls we have. Every time I need to change the properties of these three controls. If I click on this hide or show, that is big process to the programmer. Means it requires much coding, and moreover, this is login form. If you take registration form, in that registration form we don't have three controls. We have many controls. For each and every control, you want to apply style property. That is difficult for us. That's why we are grouping these controls with the help of containers. Now I will show you. First, let me delete the style properties here. Okay, I delete it. Now refresh it displays. Now what I am doing, I want to take one container. So I have taken div open here, and I am closing like this. All containers combination of open and closing tags. Between that open and closing tags, we can place other elements like this. Okay, these are the other elements I have taken inside the div tag. Now div is container. In this div, how many controls we have taken? Yes, in this div, how many controls we have taken? 3 controls I have taken here. Okay, now in this div tag, so if you observe, it displays the output like this. In this div tag, just I'm using style is equal to display none. If I give on the div tag, then all controls will hide here. Means entire group is hiding. Is it clear? So this type of implementations, when we are performing, then we are taking these containers. Containers main purpose is to hold the other elements. To hold the other elements. In that point of we are using containers. So in our any example or React program, if you take, everywhere we are observing these containers like this. Actually here I displayed simple messages, but we are writing the many statements inside this div tag and span tag. Anyhow, we will discuss this along with React. Right now we are discussing HTML basics, because to work with the React.js compulsory, these basics are required. So what is container, what is non-container? So how many types of controls? Tell me first. How many types of controls we have? Yes, how many? Come on. What are they? First one is, yes, first one is container. Second one is non-containers. So containers we can use to hold the other elements. Now mark you is used to display the scrolling text. Okay, so welcome. So if you observe here, it displays welcome on this web page. Now, is it container or non-container? Mark you. Mark is container or non-container. So that you can understand.
Non-container.
Non-container. What is the mark you I told you here? Mark you comes under container. Is it clear? Mark you also container. So that you can check. If you place image control, image source is equal to apple.jpg and width is equal to something like 50 pixels I have given. Now, if this mark is able to display the image control, then it becomes as it is container. Then it is container. If it is able to display the image control, then it is container. If it is unable to display the image control, then it is not container. So see the output. Now, is it displaying that image or not? Huh? Yes. So like that, mark you also comes under container. Okay, table. one container. Inside the table, you can display other controls. Yes, like that, we have many types of containers. Is it clear? This is about container, very important. And second one is non-containers. Okay, yeah. They cannot hold other elements. We can use to take input values from user. Yes, non-containers cannot hold other elements we are using to take the input values. For example, in future in our React project, okay, which project we are going to develop here, in that project we are creating the registration form. So in the registration form, you need to receive username, password, and email ID, these values from user. So that time we are taking text box, right? That time we are taking what is that? Text box. So text box comes in a container, non-container. So it is non-container. Is it clear? Text box is non-container and button is non-container. Image is non-container. Like that, we have different types of non-containers. So to presentation point of view, image we are using to display something, and text box we are using to receive something like text, and button we are using to receive the instruction. In that point of view, we are using non-containers. So non-containers don't have open and closing tags like this, separate open and closing tags. Directly we are closing like this. Is it clear? So in this program, if you observe here, yes, so this is text box, directly closed like this. Is it clear? And this is button, directly closed like this. All these are non-containers. My requirement is inside the image, I want to display text box. Is it possible? Can I hold text box inside the image? Not possible, because image, what is image? Is it container or non-container? What is image? Image is container or non-container? It is non-container. That's why we cannot place other controls here. Is it clear? Yes, that's the main point of this. So like that, we have these two types here. The one is container, another one is non-container. So very first program in React.js, we are using this div tag, span tag, and all these controls. Okay, that's why. So we should know what is container and what is non-container. Now in this containers, again, we have two types. The two types I will cover in tomorrow class. After that, some controls, like already we have seen image and text box. So what is how to display the checkbox, how to display the drop down. Okay, like there's some controls we will discuss. Then we will start the JavaScript. After JavaScript, we will start the React.js. Is it clear? In HTML point of view, how much is required to work with React.js, that we are discussing. So that is very major part here. You don't know about this, I know that. So right now, if you understand this concept, if you see this concept, so nobody knows what is container and what is non-container. Now only got that clarity, right? Yes or no? Yes, these containers are divided into two types again. That is very important. So in this point of view, only interview question will cover. I told you what is the difference between div and tag. So div is there, div and span. Div is there and span is there. Both are containers. What the main difference between div and span, and how to use the table, how to use the paragraph, these things also discuss one by one. So just right now, if you get clarity about container, non-container, that is enough. That's all. Yes? Yeah. So now ask me the questions from your side. So one student asked me what the course duration is. So it will take 60 sessions. Okay. 60 sessions, not 45, because we need to cover project-based React programs. Okay. And we are also covering JavaScript, complete JavaScript. Okay. Advanced JavaScript we are covering. So 70 to 80% questions in interview they're asking based on JavaScript. Okay. So that's why after this HTML, this concept, immediately we start the JavaScript. After that, I'm starting the React.js. And every week, 6 days classes we have, Monday to Saturday. Monday to Saturday we have classes. Sundays holiday. 60 days it will take to finish the course. Okay. Yes. Regular time is 9 o'clock only. Regular time is 9 o'clock. Regular time 9 o'clock. Okay. Yes. 9 to 10.
You
Tell me.
said you will start one project after in mid of the React JS. So it will be on MongoDB and
Yeah,
JSP?
that project is MongoDB with MongoDB and Node. And in these classes, in these React classes, okay, with pure React, we are covering the project. Okay.
Okay. So
Yeah.
are you covered
So
the
that
Node.js
project
also?
would be what you want to join. That is Menstack project. You understand? Menstack.
Okay. So are you
Yeah.
covered on Node.js also?
Here in CRUD operations, up to CRUD operations, we're discussing, we are using Node.js because API services we are creating, those API services we are calling from React.js. So that time those API services I'm creating with Node only. Okay. But complete Node.js won't cover in these classes. These are purely React.js.
So for run the to
In
run the
CRUD
React JS,
operations
is
point
it
of view.
mandatory? Is it
Huh?
mandatory to no, to run the React JS? Is it mandatory to run backend the Node.js?
No. Server is Node server we are using. So server side script we don't use. Is it clear? Node.js coding is not required. Node server we are using to run the project, React application. How to use the Node server we will discuss. Is it clear? Okay.
Okay.
But you need not have idea on Node.js to work with the React.js. If you know Node.js, then you are not a developer. You will become as Menstack developer. Already I told you, right? So man is there. Yes, if you learn this Node.js, then both front and back end programming can do, then you will become as Menstack developer. But to work with only React.js, no need to have idea on any other server-side script like JSP or Node.js or PHP, etc. Okay. Here I will discuss some part of Node because we need to connect with the API services. So that time we are only creating API services in companies. Server-side programmers will create the API services. Those we are calling from Node.js. But here we don't have server-side programmer. That's why we will act as server-side programmer in that point of view. That time I will give you some idea on the Node concept, Node.js, and how to get the API service in Node.js. Only that topic I will cover, Node point of view. That API service we are accessing from React.js and we are working with the CRUD operations. That's all. Okay, but you need not have idea on Node.js. Okay. Yeah. Any more
Sir,
queries?
yeah. Will you cover Redux Tanker, Redux Saga?
Yeah, Redux store we are covering here, and Redux replica, Redux Tanker. Okay, Redux full state management we are covering. Okay, Redux is very important to maintain the state of application.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah. And also we are covering Bootstrap integration, okay, jQuery integration. So that's why my sessions take some more days to finish. Okay, that is the reason why. Okay. Yeah. Any more queries? Okay. So you got the client container, non-container. So next class we will cover how many types of containers we have. Containers again divided into two types. One is inline element, another one is block level element. We will discuss about this in next class, and few HTML controls I will discuss. After that, we will shift to JavaScript. Okay. Only tomorrow we are covering the remaining part of HTML. Then immediately we are shifting to JavaScript. But JavaScript is very important. Without idea on JavaScript, we can't work with React.js. Yeah, tell me.
In the React JS, are we need to use the JavaScript only? Or is
JavaScript only.
Okay.
We are using JavaScript, but finally I will explain you one or two examples with TypeScript. Okay. One or two examples with TypeScript, but even if you use TypeScript, finally it is transpiling into JavaScript only, right? So that's why JavaScript is very important. Remember that. Without JavaScript, we can't work with React program. Okay.
On top of the JavaScript only, React JS got implemented.
Yes.
Okay.
By using JavaScript, only React packages are developed. Jordan Walkie, he implemented, right? Facebook employee. And React is maintaining by Facebook Corporation. Okay. Yeah, if possible, okay, little bit mobile implementation also with React Native, mobile implementation also I will discuss, but if time is available. Yes, yeah. See, TypeScript we are using in Angular applications, JavaScript we are using in React applications. But even there, if I use TypeScript, it is converting into JavaScript only. We need to convert it to JavaScript. TypeScript is for programmer convenient, but in TypeScript also, for example, you want to work with date related concept. Then you are using data object or JavaScript. You want to work with math related functionalities in TypeScript. Then JavaScript math object only we are using. There also we are using JavaScript only in TypeScript. But data types are available in TypeScript, and inheritance, interfaces abstract. These concepts are available in TypeScript. That's all. Okay, but there are also some point of views you want to work with date related functionalities or time related functionalities. Okay, like that. There also we are using JavaScript coding only. Finally, TypeScript is converting into JavaScript. For example, here, see, just I will show you here. Type is there. So here, this is TypeScript file. Okay, so just let me show you that. Yeah, this is TypeScript program. Okay, so this TypeScript program I am compiling. Okay, now just I will compile this. So what the extension of this file? You can see TS, right? That is TypeScript program. So if I open command prompt TSC, what the file name? My file dot TS I have given. Then you can see it is generating one file now. That is JavaScript file. Yes. Now what this file here? You can see JavaScript file. So TS is the command to compile the TypeScript program. After compilation, it is generating JavaScript file. This JavaScript file only we are using in Angular application, finally, because browser knows JavaScript code. Browser doesn't know TypeScript code. You got it? Yes. So that's why here you concentrate on JavaScript. Okay. JavaScript advanced concepts we are discussing. Those concepts you have to concentrate. You have to practice. Okay. Fine. In tomorrow class, we'll cover the inline and block level and some of the HTML tags which regularly we are using in our React project. Okay. After that, we will start the JavaScript concepts. So every day I don't repeat the same class. Okay, just like demo means for starting 4 to 5 classes we have demos, but every day we are discussing new topic. Okay. Yes. And one more thing. So today's okay, what are the points I discussed? But today I will paste in chat window. You can copy from chat window. Yes. So yeah. Once that link is changing from okay demo to payment link, then I will give you the Google Access drive. Okay, drive access I will provide you. Till then, just copy this information from chat window, paste in your notepad and save it. Okay. Yes. Someone is trying to ask.
Yeah, not yeah. It's a general question. Yes. In React.js and AngularJS, which one is advanced and secure?
See, both are providing React. We have single page application, Angular we have single page application. Data binding is there, and common both are providing that pipes are nothing but filters and validators, everything. In React we have virtual DOM concept. It is not there in Angular. In React we have JSX format, which is not there in Angular. In Angular we have data binding point of view, both one-way data binding and two-way data binding. But in React, only one-way data binding is there. Two-way data binding manually we are doing. Okay, like that, this technology contains some extra features, and the Angular contains some other extra features. Okay, other extra features. But 80% concepts are similar. You got it? Yes. And second point, React is the right choice according to, because in companies already JavaScript programmers, they were working from past few years. They are working from past few years. Many JavaScript programmers. Okay, already they know JavaScript. What the next technology for migration? Obviously, they will look for React only. Like that, in every company, React programmers are there. You got it? Angular programmer, they separately learn this TypeScript. But React programmers, if you are already JavaScript programmer, then what is the next choice for your career growth? React. So that is the reason why we have many React JS programmers and many companies using this React JS. You got it?
Yeah.
Yes. That is the main point. So React is the right choice. We have huge openings on this React. Okay. Angular is also good, no doubt in that point of that. The product of Google is the product of Facebook. Okay. Any more doubts? Yes. Already it is 10:13. So your time is up to 10 o'clock only. But anyhow, so this demo, that's why. Okay. Maybe if you're free, not problem, because my daily stand-up starts by 10:30 only. Up till that time, I am free. Okay. So, but for you may have some other work. That's why you can drop by 10 o'clock every day. Okay. Yes. I guess no more questions, right? See you next class. You can leave. Thank you.